at all these flakes. This is what was in the oil pan. All that shiny stuff, that's all metal.
Well, that is definitely some bearing material.
What's good, YouTube? It's Throttle Havoc.
I'm Alpha.
I'm Jason.
We just back with another one, man.
And you see what we got behind us today, Alpha. What we doing, man?
Man, we investigating what the hell happened with this damn M54 right here.
Let's give him a quick backstory on what happened. First of all, we talking about this car right here. All right, we just put a new motor in it. He did most of the work. I helped him a little bit take it out, but he did a lot of the work by himself. That shit was tough.
So what happened with this motor right here was I was coming home one day. I was getting on the highway. I was merging on exit 9. If you know what that is, you know what it is. I was getting on exit 9, and out of nowhere I started hearing a clicking noise. So immediately I turned off the music just to investigate if that was actually what I was hearing. So it was. So I pulled over to the side, I got out the car, and it got even louder. So that's when I turned off the car. And now you know how one of those BMW things where you turn off the car and turn it back on and the issue's fixed? That issue wasn't fixed. So I got back inside the car and fucking limped that shit all the way back home because I wasn't going to tow it. So that shit was clicking and clacking the whole time at the home. So this last video you guys saw of the Beamer clicking and clacking was the last time I had it parked. Okay, it's been parked for a while now.
About a few years, huh?
Yeah, a few years.
Yeah.
So
matter of fact, it blew up right after we did that coilover video, right?
It blew up like 2 months. I mean, 2 weeks before.
2 weeks. Yeah. So that video I think is like 2 months old, 2 years old, almost 3 years old now.
Yep.
Yeah. Matter of fact, should we let them hear the car first before we even get into it? See what the you know. We put some headers on now, and you know, car sounds good. It's about to start chopping, bro. It turned off by itself?
No, I turned it off.
Damn, it get to chopping like that?
Before it started chopping, bro.
Damn. It sounds like it got a cam in it. I know it doesn't, but, or should I say cam, just dual overhead cam, but that shit was chopping, boy.
Yeah, I gotta get that exhaust in there like ASAP, bro.
Yeah, we gotta get that exhaust worked out. The exhaust is currently over here because it doesn't bolt up anymore, obviously, because we took off the stock exhaust manifold. So
the flange just doesn't line up.
Yeah, we gotta get. So right now it's literally just open header. Oh, and some quick backstory. So we assumed it was rod knock, probably spun a bearing or whatever. When he pulled the oil pan off of this engine to put into that new engine there was a ton of metal he said in the oil pan, and you also said in the oil filter housing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know the motor was toast.
There's still metal in the oil filter pickup tube as well. I never took that out.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we gonna show y'all, you know what I'm saying? We gonna show you what's really going on with this motor and what went bad, you know, but there's definitely metal in there. I'm assuming it's bearing material. You said it was like copper and what else?
Copper and like some shiny, most likely iron.
Yeah, the oil was knocking. I'm assuming bearing material. Right now we're just taking off the valve cover first. So we're gonna crack it open, take a look at the cams, take the cams out. Once we get the cams out, we're gonna take the head off, flip it over, take the pistons out, a little bit of everything. So we're gonna see what's really going on with this situation here. The cams are relatively clean. This is what, you know, doing routine maintenance looks like pretty much. Just don't let your car go way over oil change intervals, because then it'll go real quick from being like this to being all caked up and sludgy. But you know, cam showing like normal wear on the cam lows, but they don't look bad, man. It really doesn't look bad up top.
These are definitely can be reusable.
Yeah, no, for sure. But you know, right now we all about trying to make more power, so
yeah,
you don't need no stock. We'll keep them, but so I just took out one of the spark plugs. It's a little black. That piston looks dirty as hell.
Yeah, look like damn new.
Put the light on that spark plug real quick. On the spark plug. Yeah, she's kind of black, so we'll take them all out and see what they're looking like, but this one's definitely black. Yeah, this one's black too. They probably all got a lot of carbon buildup on them, I'd imagine. When was the last time you changed these?
Probably like last 2,000 miles.
2,000? There's a lot of carbon buildup. The first one I showed you was cylinder number 4. The second one I showed you was cylinder number 6. And the third one I showed you was cylinder number 5. So now I'm taking out cylinder 3.
What is that? Damn. Charcoal.
Black. cylinder 2. Cylinder 2 right there. Ain't no point in keeping these. Yeah, that's black too. So that's cylinder 1. So all of them black. So it just got a lot of carbon buildup. All right, so tell them what this is. What you taking off right now?
Right now, I'm taking off the Venos, the dual Venos solenoid.
Which is basically like variable valve timing, but for BMW.
Basically. So we got our tensioner right here. We also got one on this side, but we got 2 caps in here that we got to take off. Once we take off these 2 caps, we got 2 small 30 Torx bolts.
We don't have the tool to pull the crank pulley off. We forgot about that, so we're probably just not going to take the crank out. We're just going to take the rods and pistons and all that stuff out. Leave the crank in the block for now. We'll take that out at a different time. So right now what he's doing, he's putting the motor at top dead center so we can access all the bolts to take the head off. So as you see, this is what your cams look like when they're spinning. They're opening and closing your valves. There you go. That's a good one. You can see how the valves open and close. But basically, I'm gonna just explain to you guys real quick, like kind of how cam specs work. Just a brief overview, because I'm not like the most knowledgeable guy when it comes to like cam specs and what different cams cause what. Varies based off of, you know, your engine architecture, be a dual overhead cam, single overhead cam, overhead valve. It's a lot of different stuff you can get into when it comes to cams, but right now just kind of just talking about the general aspects on when you look at a cam sheet and they give you specs. If you just saw when it was rotating, this is what pushes your valves down, right? So this is your valves. Right now you see it's closed. Let me see if there's any open. No, it should all be, none of them should be. Okay, these are kind of open right there. I don't know how well you can see in there. See how that's open? These camos right here are pushing down on the valves right now. That is causing them to open. So when you're looking at a cam sheet that's giving you specs, it's telling you how much lift it has. So that's basically how much it's pushing down that valve to allow air in. So when you're doing, you know, bigger cams, you want more lift than that, obviously, to get air in and out, whatever. There's, you know, different turbo cams, blower cams, NA cams. I'm not going in all that, like I said. But typically you'll see on aftermarket camshafts, they have more lift. So more lift means you're opening the valve more. Depending on the application, you need upgraded valve springs. You need sometimes pistons with relief holes in them. That way you don't poke holes in your pistons with your valves, because piston to valve contact is not good. So that's what lift is. Now duration is how long that valve stays open. So if you get a cam with more duration, that means the lobe is wider. So if you see how this lobe right here is a peak right here, and you know, basically one with more duration has a wider peak, so it holds that valve open longer. So now if you see a cam that has more lift and more duration, not only are you lifting that valve more, you're also keeping it open longer to allow more air to get in or out, right? Because you have intake and exhaust cams. Unless you're a push rod guy with a single cam in block engine, then you just have one cam and that's all you got to worry about. But this engine right now has dual overhead cams. So lastly is lobe separation angle. So what is that? Basically the angle of separation between one lobe and the next, that's lobe separation angle. So I'm not gonna go super into it. I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to like stuff containing like LSA, lobe separation angle, but that's just the general breakdown of specs that you normally see on the cam. Lobe separation angle, lift, and duration. So hopefully this kind of gives you guys an idea if you've never been inside of an engine, or if you've never really looked up cam specs and what they mean. It's kind of a good visual representation. So remember, peak, lift, duration, how long that peak holds or how wide the lobe is, and then lobe separation angle, how much these lobes separate from each other, right? Because you can make them closer, you can make them wider, and that also will affect how much it chops versus how much it doesn't chop. But if you're buying a cam for chop, you really probably shouldn't be if you are doing it for performance. Now, if you just want sound, fine or whatever, but if you actually care about how your car performs, get the cam that's proper to your build. Don't just buy cams for sound, that, you know. But I'm not gonna get into that conversation with y'all. Let's move on with the teardown. All right, so while he's taking off the Vanos, I'm going to be taking the head studs out. So that's gonna be, what is it, E12 you said?
Yeah.
It's an external Torx bit, E12.
God damn.
Did it break?
I think it broke loose.
A little bit, maybe. That should hurt my ear. Oh yeah, okay.
Let that just smack your chest. That's what made me rethink about doing the damn ARP head stuff and shit.
Yeah, because it's a process. Shit. Y'all good?
Yeah, that Mac got a little oil on it.
I know. I'm trying to stand on this side so it doesn't clap me in the chest.
Sound like the damn wrench about to break.
I'm telling you, man, I initially thought the wrench broke. I was like, I know it didn't just break on me.
How many you got left?
Damn. 14 bolts. 14 head bolts. And please, people, one-time use on these head bolts, man. Don't reuse head bolts. A lot of them are torque to use.
Took out the chain.
Look at that. Well, the front left head still had a bunch of oil on it, and none of them were like that. So I'm not sure what that means, but let's see.
We are currently compressing this piston down, so we can take
secondary
this,
chain, timing chain tensioner.
Yeah, so we push it all the way down. So now frees up this chain. I'm gonna take out the rest of these guides. So after we took out the rest of the guides, then we can take off. Damn.
The motor. There, you know, you can even bore it out a little bit, put some slightly bigger pistons in there. That should just pop out. Yeah, like that. Yeah. I just want to take this time out to say, you know, we recently did reach 1,000 subs. Like what? 4 months ago now? About 4, yeah. Something like that. You know, it was.
And we reached 1,000 followers.
Yeah, we're almost 2,000 followers on Instagram, and we're like 1.1, almost 1.2K on YouTube right now. I want to thank y'all who are subscribed. You know, we're a little slept on, not to toot our own horn.
We go the extra mile, even though we're a small YouTube channel. We try to give y'all the best content possible.
Yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at throttle_havoc. Follow us on TikTok at Throttle Havoc. Everything is Throttle Havoc. It's real easy to find. Made it easy for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So just subscribe, like, comment.
Show some love, man.
Show some love to the channel. Show some love on Instagram, TikTok. We are interactive with y'all, you know, so we'll respond. But, you know, just hit us up. We actually got a giveaway coming up in one of our future videos, too, for some super clean products. So I got to orchestrate with super clean on that, but just stay tuned for that.
Yeah, if you guys want to get into for that, make sure you guys definitely be on the lookout.
I'm be on the lookout.
I just want to make sure I get that 2JZ right before I even.
Oh yeah, we didn't even tell him. So he plans on putting a 2J in this car, by the way, because it's the same architecture. So it's still an inline 6. It's still a 3.0.
Still got the same mode. Actually, I think you get more space for the 2JZ.
It looks a little skinnier, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Most 2Js I see, they look skinnier, but it's still relatively similar. We got the intake cam loose. Just so you guys can see, yes, you are gonna make sure if you are putting stuff back together,
make sure you have them take them off and put them in
the same spot. Yeah, because you see these cams, they are marked. E1, E2, the cam caps, they do have their exact spots. So the journals look fine. The cam journals look fine.
Look at this one. This one's the only one I look like a
little bit of marring on there, but it's not too bad. So those are the lifters I was talking about. You know, the valves are under the lifters.
Yeah, this whole tray comes out, open. But we don't have to take out that tray right now. So.
Nah, we can leave it. Oil filters out. Let's see if we can see any metal. Oh yeah, all kind of metal pieces in there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's sparkly. There's metal all in that filter, even on the inside there. And then, if you look inside of here, look at all that metal down in there. All that shiny stuff, that's all metal. So the motor definitely has seen better days. Yeah, so the head doesn't look bad, at least from what we can see right here. Is that a little bit of metal flake right here? I see.
Right here?
Yeah, is that metal?
No, for sure. Same right here too, coming out the little hole.
No, not there. It's like flakes right there.
Yeah.
The metal. Yeah. Oh, look at that right there. Some of that metal circulated up top. Oh yeah, that's off. Yeah, well, there is some carbon buildup on the valves, but the head doesn't look bad. No damage really to the head as far as I can see. For those of you who don't know, the thing that's your spark plug hole in the middle. These are your intake valves over here, and then your exhaust valves there. And you of course have oil and coolant passages running through your head, which is why it is imperative that you have a good head gasket. That's your thermostat right there, which is attached to the head. It opens up once it sees a certain temperature and allows coolant passage. This is your head gasket here. This is what seals all of the combustion inside and keeps the oil and coolant passages separate from each other. As far as replacing head gaskets, this probably is only like a $40 to $60 gasket. So the head gasket is an expensive part. The reason why you have to pay so much to replace a head gasket
So much to get to it.
is exactly, you gotta break the engine down to this point just to replace this simple gasket right here. You gotta take the head off, you know, you gotta retime the motor, everything. So that's why people charge so much. And he's doing this so it doesn't get on the garage floor. But this is why people charge so much for head gasket jobs, if you ever wonder why, because the gasket seems cheap, but the labor is not. But look at all these flakes. This is what was in the oil pan. All that's big metal chunks now. That's not anything else. That's straight metal. All you see here, that's all metal.
See, it's all flaking off.
That's all metal. We're gonna flip the motor over now, take off the oil pan, take the rods and pistons out, and then as far as we can see, the head gasket looks good, the bore, the pistons and everything looks good on the top. So we're gonna spin it over and probably find out, you know, if it spun a rod bearing or crank bearing. Yeah, it looks good up here. All that stuff is just because it's been sitting outside for a minute. You said from
that's some poop from the manifold.
Oh, okay. When you took it off?
Yeah, it kept falling.
Ah, okay. Woo, Alpha, explain what you see right there.
Well, that is definitely some bearing material. I'll go ahead and go like this. Oh my god.
Damn.
Yeah.
Whew. That motor was really chewing on itself.
Yeah. It's super thin, so.
Yeah, that's definitely looks like some bearing material right there.
Yeah.
I just took this off. This reverse thread. So explain, Alpha, what you just told me.
So basically, this right here is your oil pump. So basically, this is reverse thread, and at the time, if you're basically a high RPM, this can get loose and basically come off, and you can lose oil pressure. And if you lose oil pressure, you basically lost your whole motor after that. So
right.
Most people get a threaded bolt, which has a hole threaded through the bolt, which they get a wire through it and twist it just so it doesn't come off. They got other kits too that are a little bit more expensive, but.
And you said this happens also on like the stock motors, like
yep.
So keep that in mind, y'all. I mean, when y'all building this, if you want to build this motor, that's I guess one of the most common failing points, right?
Yep. Make sure you guys change that, or if you guys taking it to the track, make sure you guys replace that nut or upgrade it some way, somehow. It looks like it's been rubbing right here.
Yeah, it does look like it's been rubbing. Looks a little bit too smooth. If you look at the rest of them,
they look a little rough.
Yeah, I mean, I see a few marks, but what would that have been rubbing on? Maybe the oil pump? Flip it over? You see any rub spots? I mean,
nah.
That's that. Let's get to taking these pistons and main caps out. Do we have a winner? Flip it over. Ooh. Yeah, she's scored up in there for sure. She's definitely scored up. Hold up, let me move the light back a bit so y'all can see that. Yeah, she's scored up in there.
She don't look too good right now.
Wait, let's see that. Let's see that. Flip it over. Let's see what them bearings looking. Yeah, ooh.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah. She is, let me see if I can get it good on the camera. Put all that on there. Not looking good. It's chewed up, but that wasn't spun. It was just chewed up. So far, well, wrist spin looks okay. Let's see the inside of the rod. Rod looks okay.
Not too bad.
Nothing crazy. So the bearing's a little chewed up, but the rod appears to be okay. What about the crank journal? Yeah, it's some metal. Is that scoring or is that just shavings?
Yeah, I think it's pretty shavings in it.
Yeah, that's just shavings. Yeah. Okay, so it's a little shave, scored up, whatever.
Let's move on to the next one.
Just a little bit of shavings, nothing crazy yet. All right, so this is piston number 2, cylinder number 2.
You can still see a lot of pitting.
Yeah, it's got some pitting in there, and okay. So let's see the other side. Knocked it.
You know that one?
Knocking the Mario coins out this morning. See what that bearing's looking like. Okay, it's a little marred up right here. Yeah, you see some shavings,
scratches on
but
stuff.
I'm wondering if that's what was already circulating like through the oil and all that stuff. I don't know if that was shavings from that or not, but okay. I mean, cylinder 2.
You guys know how a piston works. The whole crank spins down here while the pistons stay in line, moving up and down.
It's honestly crazy that these things could stay together, like engines.
Yeah.
Like the amount of movement and force they get. I think we might have found our winner. Was it cylinder number 3?
Yep.
Okay, it came off of the rod bearing. Came off.
You can see all that dark burnt.
That's the bearing.
This is the bottom of it.
That's what's supposed to be attached to that. Like it's not supposed to be stuck on the crankshaft. So
now we gotta kind of free it.
Let's see. Okay, that one.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, okay. No, it came off. It came off.
Oh my god. Yeah, you can see the copper on this one.
I'm trying to see if I can get it on the camera. That went down to the copper. Oh my gosh, bro. Look at that. That's copper, y'all. That's not oil that you see. That's copper, like in the middle of that line.
It's a copper line going right through
the copper line. And that one too.
Yep.
That one's got copper on it too.
At the bottom of it.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't happy.
I mean, all the pistons look like they're in good shape.
They look fine. I feel like you could reuse them, you know.
None of them bent.
I mean, the sides here's got normal wear, like nothing crazy, you know. But and we'll check the bore out, but it seems like the problem is just straight coming from the bottom end. Oh damn, that one's kind of scored up too. Yeah, look at that one. Let's see if I can get the camera on that.
So basically, all of these are looking pretty fucked, if I'm being honest.
For lack of better terms, yeah.
Yeah, there's no perfect one though. Even this journal's kind of scratched up.
Yeah, that journal right there. There's pitting on that, right there. That's pitting. Huh? I can tell you're looking at it right now. That other side of the rod bearing is scored up too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah.
Look at all that pitting and.
Yeah. So basically, all of these are looking pretty much the same.
Yeah, I think number 1 wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
number 1 was
the best one.
All these from 2 to what's this, number 4 or 5 right now? Oh yeah, that was number 4.
Yeah.
This is number 5. Pull it out, Alpha. Let's see. What are we looking at? Let me try and get the glare off.
Yeah.
Crank look a little scored up.
Yeah, that's definitely scratched up as well. Go ahead and take out the piston. Oh wow. Yeah, that's pretty scored up, bro. And look at the edges up here.
Yeah, that's not supposed to be like that, no.
No.
Show them what a regular piston looks like, or a regular rod, should I say? Look at how that right there is.
Perfectly.
That means it probably has some side-to-side play that I wasn't supposed to have because it's been probably grinding up against the crank or something here.
Okay, let's see what we're looking like. Oh, wait, actually? Oh, actually.
They're all scored up.
They all pretty
scored up.
I mean, even if you look at this one doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, I mean, but the bearing itself, though, you got a lot of lines in there and stuff. Let's see if we can.
You see a lot of like it's been burning.
It's been worn for sure. Look at that. Look at that. And then let's see, wait, show that bearing again. That last bearing.
Yeah, look at the pitting on there, bro. Like, so the indentions. Oh no, it wiped off. Oh, okay, nah. I mean, nah. I still definitely have some marks in the actual like bearing though.
Yeah.
All right, well, time to see these main bearings.
The main definitely looks a little worse. It's hard to get the light to pick up on it, but
Yeah.
that's the second main. So let's see about. No, that's the third main actually. That's the third main bearing. Let's see about this one. Wipe the oil off.
Yeah, that still looks fucked. You can see a copper line again.
That means it's worn down. Like, all right.
Oh, mind you, I did run this car pretty hard every day, if I'm being honest.
But when it blew, you weren't running it hard.
Oh no, when it blew, I was definitely going like the speed limit.
And
Probably
you
under.
kept regular oil changes, right?
All right.
Granted, oh
damn.
shit! Look at that! Look at that! Let me see.
Shit. Oh yeah, I can feel it on my finger too.
Damn.
Yeah, look.
Damn. Y'all hear that? Hold up. I'm gonna put the mic just next to it. Just. Y'all hear that? That's his finger getting caught.
Yeah. Damn.
Look at how bad that. Look. Can you feel that? See if you can feel that right there.
Oh yeah. You can see how my finger's stopping.
Yeah. Wow. That's bad.
I think that's gonna be the worst one for sure. Let's see this one. Yeah, this one's still pretty bad.
Yeah, you can hear that. That's like making cringe. Damn. Are they
this
all
one's even worse.
That one's worse.
Hell yeah, my fucking nail almost just bent the fuck back. Yeah.
Look at how deep that line is. Damn, it's the glare, but that line.
So I think most of that material that's in the pickup tube is coming from this main.
Yeah, from the crank bearings.
This main,
Bro.
yeah, this one's not coming off. We might think that this one's the one that's spun, for sure.
I just don't want to start chipping at the block. Because for me to pry this up, I gotta go here, but it's like I got it to move a little bit. But man, that thing is.
Oh, there you go.
Mind you, we're not using this crank, y'all, so. No, that's the. See it. Damn. Oh my gosh. Bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
And no bueno right there.
That is not good. Wow. We got one last one. So, I don't really think any of these were spun per se. This one was in there pretty tight. So I don't know if it was in there pretty tight. So maybe it had some severe friction issues, but
All right, so as you guys can see, we cannot get to these last rear bolts that's connected to the main seal. And the only way to get that off is to drop this whole block off the stand and take off that plate and put it back on the stand, as you guys can see. So this is probably where we're gonna cap it off at. You guys see most of the damage.
yeah, see that won't get in there.
Yeah,
so.
you guys can still see most of these are still pretty scored up.
And granted, you can't see the other side of the bearing for the mains. However, you kind of get the idea. I mean, we took out all the rod bearings, all what, 12 of them.
Yep. And
then we took out what, 2, 4, 6 of the main bearings out of the total of what's there, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There's 14 total. However, like I said, we didn't take this out because we don't have the pulley for that. But you guys can get a pretty good idea of what the rest of them will probably look like. I mean, this motor was probably just really out of tolerance.
Yeah, for sure.
It was out of tolerance. That's what it was. It was probably loose and
a lot of heat.
A lot of heat and just.
Cause mind you, guys, I used to literally run this car every day around 100 miles per hour. You know, state troopers can't really do anything about me now, but that was back then. You know, I'm a changed person now, so.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, so I was beating on this car pretty much every day, and I was expecting for it to go out pretty soon, but I didn't know how soon. So I'll say it ran for a good 5 years before it took a shit.
Hey, probably got more mileage out of it than if it was an M5.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We would have been doing this a lot sooner.
Yeah, for sure. But we're most likely gonna be keeping the block, but the crank has to go for sure. So you guys let us know what you guys want to see us do with this crank. We can probably make it into something cool.
Or we can shoot it.
Or we can shoot it, you know, what we're looking at.
So basically, we are looking at right now, one, the cylinder walls, everything looks okay in there for the most part.
All the cross hatching is still there.
Yeah, all the cross hatching looks good actually. Yeah, it looks like it's
pretty
in pretty
perfect.
good shape.
If you guys don't know why the cross hatching is there, it's there to hold the film of oil so that your piston isn't rubbing against metal to metal.
Right. Which may not make sense to some of y'all, but you need some like surface for the liquid to stick to.
You can't just have a smooth metal surface because it's going to get dry in some spots. You're going to have heat spots. And
these are oil squirters. I don't know how, can I see that? Yeah, they can see that. Let me see if I can go through the bottom. See this right here? This little thing. Each cylinder has it. So even my car has them too. But what they do basically is shooting oil at the bottom of the piston here to keep it cool. So if you guys don't know how, per se, the piston rings work, these two here would be your compression rings, right? And then this here is your oil scraper. This is what scrapes the oil back down. So it's the pistons in the bore, right? You see it moving up and down. You have these two keeping the compression, and obviously you don't want them. The reason why they're offset is because you're gonna get a little bit of blow by here and a little bit here, but the idea is so that if you have it like this, that blow by is gonna go straight up, right?
Straight through it.
You have it like this, it's more sealed. You know, different people put them different ways, whatever. There's different specifications for different engines, but basically, yeah, they're not on top of each other, so that way they can seal up perfectly. Now, the reason being, right, when you see people gapping rings on like a boosted vehicle, I'll explain why for a second. You talk about compression, you talk about boost. That's all just creating more cylinder pressure. More cylinder pressure, more air allows you to put in more fuel, allows a bigger explosion. So basically, that's more violent forces being acted upon on these pistons. So the reason why you gap rings on boosted vehicles, right, or vehicles running a lot higher cylinder pressure like nitrous, whatever, is because as it gets more pressure, it causes these rings to close on each other like that, right? So now when these rings are closing, it may not seem like much right here if I can make them touch, which I can't even really make them fully touch, but it may not seem like a lot right now, but you got to keep in mind this starts to bind up really, really, really tight if it's not opened up enough, and that's a lot of clamping force on your piston, which can literally break parts of the piston off, you know.
And your piston can get stuck and score.
Exactly, and just you get chunks of piston in, and you have no compression, and it gets rammed through your block, and then you have to.
You're just gonna need a new car at that point.
Yeah, because it's gonna chew up the wall. If you don't have sleeves, you may not be able to, you know, refurbish the motor. So yeah, that's why it's important to have like proper gap and specs on these rings. But I just kind of want to give you guys a quick, simple breakdown of like how all this stuff works. So this scrapes your oil. These two keep your compression in the cylinder. So yeah, these ring lands are very important for your car to run properly.
That's gonna be it for this video. As you guys can see, if you got a blown or spent motor, don't fucking drive that shit. Please park it and get a new motor or get a new car. But yeah, word of advice, don't get a fucking BMW if you don't want to fucking work on it or pay for a spun rod bearing if you get one. But other than that, man, we're gonna catch you on the next one, bro.
Like I said, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Instagram, throttle_havoc. TikTok, throttle havoc. YouTube, throttle havoc. Just, you know, follow us on all platforms.
Tap in, man.
Tap in.
You know where the fun is at, bro.
For sure.
Other than that being said, man, we out.